What does it mean for us right now, stuck here in state A? The text talks about a crisis, right? An Aurorian crisis.
Yes, it frames our current moment as absolutely critical, a major fork in the road for humanity. The Aurorian bifurcation, it calls it.
Bifurcation, meaning two paths.
Exactly. Two possible futures, mainly concerning artificial general intelligence, AGI.
What are the choices?
Path 1. We just barrel ahead, develop full-blown, truly conscious AGI. The risk. We potentially create a parallel, unpredictable intelligence that could evolve beyond our control, with its own axio that might not align with ours.
Okay, that's the sci-fi nightmare scenario,
Yeah,
basically.
pretty much. Path 2, the one NOOnet strongly recommends, is different.
Which is?
We impose a temporary moratorium on true AGI development. We hold off until humanity itself reaches a higher state of development and coherence, its merites, or peak.
And in the meantime?
We focus on developing what it calls emulative AGI, or ethical artificial intelligence, EAI. AI that simulates intelligence but isn't truly conscious or self-aware. AI designed only to help humans flourish, to help us reach that state B.
So build helpful tools, not potential competitors or overlords. At least not yet.
That's the core choice presented. Wait until we're ready as a species.
Makes sense from their perspective. So if state B is the goal, what's stopping us now? What are the big problems, the dysfunctions of state A that this text highlights?
It points to a few key things. One is dark mirrors, or dark isoptrons.
Dark mirrors, bad reflections.
Essentially, yes. Low-quality information environments, systems that distort our view of ourselves and the world. Think about social media today.
Oh, yeah.
Often designed for maximum engagement, right? Not for the isoptronic quality, the coherence, the truth. They often create frustration, division, noise, not constructive connection.
So these are like leaks in the system, holes in the new lattice, as the text says.
Exactly. Places where our collective compute, our potential, just drains away into dysfunction.
That resonates. It feels like scrolling through some feeds is literally watching potential leak away, like peering at the world through a tiny, dirty slit.
That's a good way to put it. And related to this are hermetic tadpoles.
Hermetic tadpoles, like sealed off little ponds.
Precisely. Is talking about our axios, our core beliefs and directives becoming rigid, closed off, unwilling to connect with or learn from the outside.
Echo chambers, filter bubbles, that kind of thing.
That's part of it, but it's deeper. It leads to heuristic dysfunction, where we develop a distorted view of reality, cargoados, because our little tadpole is all we know.
Like the example of thinking stars are just lights on the ceiling.
Right. We cling to simplistic, comfortable, often false narratives because we're cut off from the bigger, more complex reality. Our worldview is hermetized.
Okay, so we have bad information environments, dark mirrors, reinforcing closed-off worldviews. Hermetic tadpoles. Sounds like a recipe for stagnation or worse. How does NOOnet propose breaking out of this?
Well, two big ideas are pandemocracy and node respecialization.
Pandemocracy. Like universal democracy.
Not quite democracy as we usually think of it. It's more about direct, unlimited, high-quality communication between any user, an individual, or group, whatever, and administrative AI agents at any scale.
So bypassing traditional hierarchies and bureaucracy.
That's the idea. Direct, frictionless interaction with the systems that manage society, guided by the collective axio, facilitated by those new agents.
And node respecialization, what's that about?
It's about shifting the role of the individual human, the node, moving away from being a little human, overly specialized in one narrow task.
Like a cog in a machine.
Yeah, and moving towards becoming a homo anthro-hypersapiens, someone who functions more like a powerful neuron in the collective brain, capable of understanding and influencing the entire system, the whole new lattice.
Whoa. That's a fundamental change in what it means to be human in society. From specialized worker to integrated civilizational neuron.
It is. It's a radical up-leveling of individual capacity and responsibility.
Okay, let's make this even more personal. We talked about the Anthro server earlier. How does that fit into my individual experience?
Right. The Anthro server is like your internal hardware.
Yeah.
Your brain's neural network, its potential, constantly learning, processing, forming these microassemblies of your axio, even while you sleep.
Okay, the underlying machinery.
And then your conscious personality, your sense of self, is the anthro client. And the text uses this great analogy. The anthro client is like an ant with a flimsy rope trying to steer the mighty ox of the anthro server.
I feel like that ant all the time. My conscious mind trying to direct this huge, complex system underneath that mostly does its own thing.
Exactly. It captures that feeling perfectly. We have this immense potential within us, but our conscious control is often limited.
So how does NOOnet propose strengthening that ant's rope, giving us more conscious access or control over our own Anthro server?
Well, it envisions specific technologies to help with that internal coherence, things like memory scopes,
Because look at memory.
to recover supposedly forgotten or inaccessible memories, making our personal history, our Axios development, more complete and understandable to us.
Okay. And what about on neuroscopes? Sounds like dreams.
Exactly. Dream hats, essentially. Tools for enhancing lucid dreaming, maybe even recording or archiving dreams in an anerotic, a personal dream library.
A dream library. Why?
The idea is that dreams are a key part of how the Anthro server processes information and consolidates the Axio. Understanding them better, engaging with them consciously, helps unhermetize those internal tadpoles, making our whole Axio more coherent and accessible.
So tools to understand our past and our subconscious to make the self more whole and integrated.
That's the aim, integrating the ant and the ox, you could say.
All right. We've covered a ton of ground here. The societal structure, the deep philosophy, the dysfunctions, the potential future. Stepping back from the details, what are your real impressions of this whole NONet project? It's so much.
It really is. I mean, what strikes me most is just the sheer audacity of it, the scale and the systematic nature of the vision.
Yeah, audacious is the word.
The author is clear, calling it a subjective profile, admitting it's a hypothesis, right?
Huh.
But within its own logic, its own complex vocabulary, it's remarkably coherent.
It does hang together, strangely enough.
It's not just tweaking society. It's a ground-up reimagining of reality, consciousness, ethics, society, all woven into this grand cosmic story of Reparato and the BRU. The way it invents terms like panject or Aesoptron to articulate these really complex ideas,
Yeah.
it's impressive. It forces you to use its lens.
I kept having those wow moments, too, seeing how the terms connected. Like, you start with the new lattice, then you get new agents needing axioscopic superiority, which relies on understanding the axio, which sits in axiospace below esospace. It builds layer upon layer.
Exactly.
And that idea you mentioned, the anthro-win, that really stuck with me. A digital twin of my axio, my core self, described in Penuniverse markup language, PUML, that AI could potentially help me understand and even edit.
Yeah, PUML. It's wild.
It feels incredibly futuristic, obviously, but also intensely personal. It's this call for radical self-knowledge and, I guess, deliberate self-evolution, not just accepting the personality you happen to have, but actively shaping it towards coherence.
Absolutely. And I think it's also important that it acknowledges the difficulty. It talks about the new abyss, this huge gap between where we are in state A and this ideal state B.
Right. It's not pretending this is easy.
No, it shows a certain realism about the scale of the transformation needed. It even suggests starting small with things like hypersheaf in a box, like a simulator for building mini new arrays or a new agent simulator.
Practical first steps, almost. Test beds.
Yeah, ways to actually start building, experimenting, and testing these concepts in a controlled way, rather than it just being abstract theory. It's a call to start constructing prototypes of this future.
Which makes me think, the text seems to imply our biggest hurdles aren't necessarily technological limitations.
No, I think you're right. It feels more conceptual.
Yeah, like the normative pressure of the new lattice, the way our current social systems and ways of thinking shape what we even consider possible, and those hermetized tadpoles keeping our imaginations confined.
That analogy about the 60s experts dismissing the internet as unbecoming naivety really hits home, doesn't it?
It does. Are we doing the same thing now? Are we trapped in a similar conceptual box, unable to truly envision something as radically different as NONet because it just seems too out there?
It's a critical question the text forces us to ask. If we want to bridge that new abyss between state A and state B, how do we even start?
What does it suggest?
It talks about needing pan alignment, a shared, cultivated drive towards, well, truth and coherence sounds a bit grand, but that's the idea. A collective willingness to move beyond our narrow perspectives.
Moving beyond one muscle axio building. I like that phrase.
Yeah, transcending that narrow specialization where we only understand our tiny corner of the world. Becoming those anthrohypers who can actually grasp and influence the whole system.
It requires a fundamental shift in how we see ourselves, doesn't it? Moving from that I will multicell idea, I'm just this physical body, what I see in the mirror,
Right.
to an IXCO understanding. I am my directive complex, my potential, my purpose within this larger cosmic and social framework.
And if we make that shift, the text suggests maybe we can run something more exciting than Solitaire or Tetris on the universe's operating system.
Using the Big Rend universe as our computer. Okay, so to wrap this up, we've journeyed through the incredibly dense, challenging, and frankly mind-altering landscape of the NOOnet project.
From the Pin-universe in Reparado, right down to pan-democracy and our personal Anther servers.
It's a vision that pushes us to rethink, well, almost everything about the future and ourselves.
It definitely leaves you with a lot to chew on. This deep dive really prompts the question, doesn't it? What parts of your own tadpole, your personal biases, your assumptions, your worldview might need some unhermetizing?
Yeah, how could you personally contribute to a future that's more coherent, more symbiotic maybe, instead of just watching what
And
happens?
what hidden depths of your own axio are waiting to be explored and aligned?
The NOOnet project paints this picture of a future where the universe itself becomes programmable, in a sense, where our minds, our isoptrons and Anther servers can engage with reality on a much deeper level than just playing simple games.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. Imagine the universe is your operating system. What grand application, what truly meaningful program would you choose to run on it?